Going on, everyone? When it comes to Kendrick Nunn, there was a lot of concerns and a lot of questions, right? He was a huge signing last offseason. Many people were extremely shocked that they were able to get him for the taxpayer mid-level and only make $6 million a year, because he easily could have gotten much more than that elsewhere. But he really wanted to go to the Lakers. He really wanted to prove it. He was a starting point guard for the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals, and a lot of promise. And then, of course, he ends up getting hurt, ends up missing the season, and there was a lot of questions of, would he be back? Would he be ready to go this season? Because this is essentially another free agent acquisition, but a guy that does everything. A guy that can play defense, a guy that can get to the basket, can play on the ball, can play off the ball, shot 38% from three. Just a really solid contributor. And I've been so high on Kendrick Nunn. I've talked about how he could be a real X factor for the Lakers and really sort of change the landscape for this Lakers team. And we're getting in a training camp. You know, there's all the reports of, he's not really 100%, but he says he is. The doctors, everybody says he is ready to go in 100%. And then now we're in training camp, and guess what? He looks great. All we are hearing from training camp is just praise on Kendrick Nunn and how great he has been playing, how effective and efficient he's been. Even LeBron and Davis and the coach and everybody, I've been just speaking Kendrick Nunn's praises like no one else. Him and Westbrook have been the two real standouts so far in this training camp, which is great to hear. He's 100% healthy. He's himself said after the first day of training camp that he feels great, no pain, no botherness, no nothing. And that is what we need. Kendrick Nunn is also running with the starting unit. So far, it looks like they have had a couple interchangeable things. They are obviously, it's training camp. You're going to test different things. But Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Damian Jones have been a lineup that they've been running a lot recently, and they seem to really enjoy. There was even some footage of Kendrick Nunn and LeBron running some sets, running some schemes, which I'd be all for. You know, I am 100% all in on Kendrick Nunn as the starting two guard. I think he gives you the defense, he gives you the shooting, he gives you about everything you need, right? And I've talked about how he could really be a Kyrie light. Now, that doesn't mean that they're the same player or that Kendrick Nunn's is good or anything like that, but a lot of the things that Kyrie would have brought to this team this season, Kendrick Nunn can do. Not on the grand scale, right? Kyrie Irving is just such a phenomenal, just mind-blowing talent. He can single-handedly win you games. He can single-handedly take over games. Like if LeBron and Anthony Davis missed a bunch of time, knock on wood, Kyrie Irving is good enough to carry the workload and probably keep you afloat, right? Kendrick Nunn, he might be able to do that for a game or two, but in reality, you know, again, Kyrie light. But what Kendrick Nunn does is a lot like what Kyrie Irving would have brought. A guard that can play on the ball, off the ball, shoot the three ball. He can get to the basket, create his own shot, you know, finish at the rim, all of those things. So I really think Kendrick Nunn being that two guard next to Russell Westbrook, as well as LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and then Damian Jones, I think is really interesting because Damian Jones is the better defender between him and Thomas Bryant. A lot more of a motor, high energy type of guy. He was great for the Sacramento Kings last year, but the three-point shot was a real question, right? And he, as a 33% three-point shooter, which is fantastic for a center, but he's only taken like 93s his entire career. I don't even think it's been that much. It might be like half of that. But my point is he hasn't taken a ton of threes to where you can say, okay, yeah, he's like consistently a 33, 34% three-point shooter. But it's something he definitely has in his game, and it's something that he's been working on. And he said he's willing to accept the role, and he thinks it would translate well if he was to, you know, shoot a larger volume. So that is exciting. I mean, to have all these guards, I do think, and I've mentioned this before, I do think we could see interchangeable lineups throughout the season based on matchups, right? I think Russ starts pretty much every game this season, but the two guards specifically, I could see in some cases you start Patrick Beverley, in some cases you start Kendrick Nunn, in some cases maybe you even run Dennis Schroeder, depending on, you know, the matchups, the lineups, things like that. I just think the versatility of our guard lineup is really good. Now, would it be nice to have like a 6'6", 6'7" shooting guard? Of course it would be. But guess what? We don't have that. I mean, we do, but not to the level of these guys. You're better off having these guys I think Kendrick Nunn would be that awesome fit. And I know many of you out there want to see Kendrick Nunn play the 2 spot. I see the comments all the time, and people are really high on Kendrick Nunn as well. And I really think he's a guy that can make a real huge impact for this Lakers team. Patrick Beverley is definitely the better defender, but Kendrick Nunn is no slouch defensively. He's not a lockdown defender by any means. He's not a guy that's locking up Steph Curry or anything like that. I mean, not that anyone can, but you get my point, is that Kendrick Nunn, he is a good defender, though. He is a guy that can play defense, that can hold his own, that can play both sides of the ball, and that's what you need. And I think the element that he would add to a starting 5, whether it's Thomas Bryant or it's Damian Jones, but basically Kendrick Nunn next to Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James, I think would be a great sort of core 4 leading forward. I think that gives you a ton of versatility. You get that slashing guard in Russell Westbrook, just high energy, high motor. You also get, Anthony Davis, a guy that can do everything. Hopefully his 3-point shot starts to fall. He said that, his wrist was bothering him, stuff like that he had a wrist injury. Whether it's excuse or not, look, last year was last year. Like Darvin Ham said, we're looking out the windshield, not the rearview mirror. I love that. I love to hear that. New coach, new atmosphere, new environment, new culture, new everything, right? And we're going to actually have guys that know their role, because that was a big problem last year. You saw so many guys that just seemed to not know where they were supposed to be. What was their job? What were they supposed to do? I mean, how many times do we see Russell Westbrook just completely taken out of plays and not effective? Like a guy like Russ, as athletic and fast, agile, and quick on his feet as he is, he should be constantly cutting and slashing and just moving without the ball, because he just becomes a huge threat. He becomes a lob threat. He's a guy that you could dump it down to. If you get a good mismatch, you can post him up. Boom, he's quick on an island, getting to the hoop. Like, there's just so many versatile ways to really use Russell Westbrook that I just felt weren't really capitalized on. The Kendrick Nunn, LeBron James pick and roll seems to be in full force, at least in training camp. We'll see how it all translates to the regular season, but that's what preseason's for, right? Like, I expect to see multiple lineups in preseason. Like, that's the time to kind of hash your stuff out. Which lineups work? How do we like this? Do we like this set? Let's run these plays. Let's do this, that, and the other. LeBron's not going to be playing a heavy dose. Anthony Davis isn't going to be playing. None of the core guys, I imagine, are going to be playing a heavy dose. But you still, in the time that they share the court together, you want to see them sort of run the schemes, run the offense, see some solid defense. Hopefully we actually win some games and we don't go like 0-8 or whatever in training camp. Hopefully, I'm not saying we have to go undefeated or anything like that, but I want to see a couple solid wins, things along those lines, and just start to see the effects of training camp. Okay, we had a good training camp. That's great. We're in the preseason. Okay, that's going well. And just really allow this team to show us how much they've improved, show us how much they flourished. And I think Kendrick Nunn is a big step in that direction. I think Kendrick Nunn is going to be absolutely huge for this Lakers team this season. And I really do think he could be a huge X factor. He has the experience. He's not afraid of the moment, which is huge. You got a guy that put up 20 in a finals game, stuff like that, or 18 or whatever. So you got a guy that, again, he's not afraid of the moment. He can show up. He can shoot. He can defend. He can get to the basket, play on the ball, play off the ball. If you want to have him bring up the ball and have, LeBron play off the ball and Russ running sets as a cutter, as a slasher, stuff like that, you can do that. Just gives you that ball handler next to LeBron and Westbrook. But the beauty is he is statistically our best three-point shooter. So it's not like how it was when they ran Rondo and THT along with Westbrook and LeBron, where Rondo and THT, they can't shoot. So to have them next to LeBron James and Russell Westbrook, who also can't shoot, it just becomes redundant. But Kendrick Nunn, being a guy that can shoot and knock down the three, absolutely huge. And I think that this is going to be really good. I'm really excited to hear the news coming out of training camp, hear all the excitement surrounding Kendrick Nunn, hear that, he's running full drills, full games, full sets, full everything, no pain, no botherness, no nothing. That's great. And it's what I've talked about early on. with Kendrick Nunn, when I've made some of these videos, just diving into him as a whole. The beauty of Kendrick Nunn is that, like, he has the capabilities of being that, like, third or fourth guy. And, I mean, he was a 15-point-a-game guy, right? And I think he's still capable of doing that on this team. And I'm glad the Lakers didn't rush him back. I mean, there's a lot of concerns and questions about, like, how serious was his injury before, but he wasn't going to save us last year, right? But him being 100% and being healthy, instead of trying to force him or rush him back, and now he's out till, like, say, January of this year, it was better to just let him sit, get rest, get healthy, be fine, and now come in this year and be dominant. And that's what we're seeing in training camp. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Are you excited for Kendrick Nunn? Do you think he could be a real X factor? Are you excited to hear the stuff coming out of training camp? Is this something you're looking forward to? What do you expect? Like, give me some. Let's have some fun. Let me know in the comments, like, projected numbers. What do you think he gets in points, assists, and rebounds? I'm gonna say he gives us like 15. I'm gonna say 15, 4, and 4, somewhere around there. Depending on how much he plays, but let's say he plays about 25 minutes a game. I could see 15, 4, and 4, maybe even 15, 5, and 5. I think that would be absolutely solid, which isn't far off from his career average. So I think that's something he could do. But again, thoughts and opinions, let me know down in the comment section below. Good, bad, ugly, however you feel, let me know. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. Go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.